allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Carrie is going to be remote. So to our IT person, if you have somebody in that's waiting, she's one of the members that will remote in. Thank you. Are there any added agenda items? That's good because we have a kind of full agenda anyway. We're on to the second quarter Crystal Apple Awards. David, you want to?
Yeah, I can start by giving a little background. So thank you to Dave Mosher, representing Horace Mann, for being in attendance. Just to give a little background as far as the Crystal Apple Award. It is a quarterly award in partnership with Horace Mann that's given to one employee from each school. And nominees can be any staff member. So it could be certified or non-certified, who have demonstrated through their actions the ability to go above and beyond to support our students here in East Windsor. So nominees are staff that support a positive and compassionate school climate where both students and staff feel physically, emotionally, and intellectually safe. Nominees encourage a love for learning, and they also exhibit a collaborative approach to challenge students to reach high expectations as well as standards. So we have representatives from each of our schools, and with that, we'll ask Broadbrook to come up with Mr. Ryan and Dave to present to our Broadbrook recipient.
Actually, the Crystal Apple is in my office because unfortunately the person is not here this evening. She is unfortunately not feeling well and sends that she's sorry she couldn't be here. But that would be Lauren Sanderson. And Mrs. Sanderson is the person who is running our PAUSE program. So the person who nominated Mrs. Sanderson wrote, Lauren is the quintessential team player whose leadership and dedication have made a profound impact on Broadbrook school community. She consistently shares her expertise with colleagues and families while providing students with care, structure, and support that they need to thrive. In addition to supporting the daily needs of students and teachers, Lauren serves as the MTSS liaison on behavioral rotation, working strategically with staff to develop both grade level and individualized student support plans that ensure equitable access to high quality learning experiences for all students. This year, Lauren completed extensive training to become a restorative practice leader and led successful implementation of the PAUSE program, a restorative space designed to help students reset, reflect, and build on essential social emotional skills. She also developed and launched the PAUSE social emotional learning class, providing tier 1 SEL instruction aligned with the program's core values of practice kindness, act responsibly, work through problems, and speak up with respect. Lauren's flexibility, patience, and unwavering belief in the potential of every child exemplifies the spirit of the Crystal Apple Award, making her a true deserving nominee.
Next, middle school with Mrs. Deitch.
And call up Jillian. So Jillian is a teacher in one of our specialized programs, the Discovery Program. So she was actually nominated by a few people. So one of the things that came across is all of her work that she does in the classroom. So you may be thinking she has like a smaller classroom, she's in a specialized program, but what she does is quite unique. She encourages students who may be having a bad day. She encourages them with their academic, social, emotional learning, but also really celebrates their unique strengths that they have as we do fall, but she just really emphasizes that, which empowers them, knows that they're valued, and she inspires them. So that is really truly something that we value in our building, but it goes beyond just her classroom, right? So Miss Ellison also coaches our track team and our cross country team. So she touches the lives of more than just her classroom, right? So we have quite the large track team and cross country team. So there's a lot of students that she's working with. But one thing that is so inspiring about both of those teams is when you go to a track meet or a cross country meet, you see our students and athletes are encouraging each other, but more so they're encouraging other teams as well as they're running. And they have run alongside students who are struggling to make to that finish line, but they are really just uplifting one another, whether they're from East Windsor or another district, which you don't typically see. So that has been one of the greatest things, that you just really are valuing that sportsmanship and just taking care of one another and lifting each other up. But even more so, she also is supporting, she just became a certified yoga instructor. And so in our building, she is holding Mindful Mondays, and Wednesdays she does yoga. And that, you know, we have teachers that are going in there after time and just really helping to decompress and take a minute for themselves, which has helped just build that school community in general. So it's not just her classroom, it is the whole school community that she is touched and inspired. So we are so grateful to have Ms. Ellison at East Windsor Middle School.
Congratulations, Jillian.
And the student campaign supporter. All right, Victoria.
Victoria.
Next, Mrs. Kaminsky, with high school.
I would like to introduce everyone to Miss Lori O'Connor. Please come up. So I'll read what was posted. Lori has been an employee at EWHS since I've worked there, and this is by Mrs. Walker. She always supervised study hall. As the years went on, she began to take a larger role in our school, happily filling in for the office, learning a new role as an attendance clerk, transforming into our building sub, and creating a well-planned and thought-out intervention room with rebound. She has happily taken on each new task, and she has owned it. She also helps with school-wide graphics and our graduation program each year. She actually took on the role to really bolster it up to truly celebrate each graduating class. Lori holds high expectations for students and is reliable and dependable. I think she is deserving for the work she has done building the rebound program, tailoring it to and individualizing it for the wide variety of students she has had participate in the program so far. And if you've ever seen on our Facebook page the advertisements for the musicals, this is the woman who's designed that, as well as the tickets. And I can tell you that Allison, any one of us can say, hey, Lori, can you? And before you even get the words out, she's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, well, okay, thank you. So we're really, really, truly grateful to have her because she definitely helps both staff and students. So thank you, Lori.
Yes.
Congratulations, Lori. Dave, thank you for your partnership. I don't know if there's anything you'd like to mention as part of
Just glad to be a part of it and be able to continue our partnership. This is my 22nd year, partnering with East Windsor. So, I started back in 2004 and it's been a great partnership and looking forward to keeping it going for 22 more. And after that, it's somebody else's problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking all that.
Of course.
And congratulations to the recipients. Very impressive things that you're doing. Awesome. Thank you. So I know the previous chairman, so I'll continue the same speech. After everybody gets their awards, you're welcome to stay for the whole night. It might be a little boring and we won't take it personally if you decide, you know what, I would rather sneak out. So, thank you for being here and stay as long as you want. We will move on to, minutes. So
yes, photographer Southside. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Field.
I'll remind them. Did they get a picture?
they just all. There we go. All right, so approval of the January 28th minutes are in order.
I'll make a motion to approve the January 28th, 2026 minutes.
Is there a second? Seconded by Courtney. Seconded by Courtney. Is there any discussion, corrections? Nobody? Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. Well, I would move on to public participation, but I think our public just kind of all left. But any of you back there want to say? Okay, on to our student rep.
Elementary school. Despite 2 snow days shortening our planned schedule, students enthusiastically participated in a modified Great Kindness Challenge week the last week of January. Each day, students completed kindness challenges and enjoyed themed spirit days, reinforcing our school-wide focus on empathy, respect, and community. Students who are grade level winners for the Winter Learning Challenge were recognized by serving as principal of the day, an experience they have taken seriously and enjoyed greatly. All participants of the Winter Learning Challenge had the opportunity to attend a Springfield Thunderbirds game on January 30th with their families. This month, Broadway Elementary School held its first Math Wizard induction ceremony. Students in grades 2 to 4 gathered to celebrate their peers as they were inducted as Math Wizards, receiving wizard hats and either apprentice or journeyman certificates. The ceremony culminated in a recognition of one new Master Wizard, cheered on by classmates and staff alike. This event highlighted student perseverance, growth, and excitement around mathematics. For middle school, the East Windsor Middle School boys and girls basketball teams closed out January with exciting wins over Craig Aerospace. Students also had a great time during the January incentive. 5th and 6th grade students enjoyed staff versus student basketball games with the East Windsor Middle School staff earning a big win with the help from Mr. Sperry, Mr. Elliott, Mrs. Green, Mr. Vincent, and Mr. Mercado. The 7th and 8th grade students celebrated with a football-themed incentive. Our pep band was also very busy, bringing energy by performing at the pep rally and boys' home game. The high school. The high school was proud to spotlight the class of 2026 and their families for the outstanding progress they have made in completing the FAFSA. With the support of families and our counseling team, this class is showing strong momentum and is well on track to exceed 60% FAFSA completion, a critical step in post-secondary planning. When compared to last year's graduating class, the class of 2026 is especially noteworthy. By January, 52% of the class of 2026 has completed the FAFSA, more than doubling the completion rate of the class of 2025 at the same point in time. This is worth celebrating, and we are not hiding our Panther pride when it comes to outcomes that directly support our students' futures. To recognize this pride-worthy achievement, students who complete the FAFSA are entered into a raffle for post-secondary prizes, including small refrigerators, microwaves, and Keurig machines. During grade 12 Panther time on Friday, January 30th, 3 additional students earned prizes. The class of 2026 also received the graduation letter, outlining all end-of-year events and activities as they close out their high school career.
Thank you.
I'm surprised to see that the middle school staff doesn't go easy on students in the basketball game.
Okay, move on to upcoming meetings and events, and we have a lot. As a reminder, tomorrow night, which is on here, the Board of Selectmen and Board of Education, so Patrick will be presenting their budget at a public hearing, so it's always good to support superintendent if we can. Next week is our interviews. So make sure you set that time aside. The rest are less important for right now, but those 2 are coming up pretty quick, so. Anybody have any questions on anything that's on the upcoming meetings?
Thanks for putting them all together. That was quite a discussion of getting them all in the right place. Thanks, Jess, if you did that.
It's just.
I just would like to make a suggestion that if you'll notice, there are 2 middle school concert activities. Well, not quite all middle school, I guess. But I would highly recommend if anybody wants an entertaining evening out, both of those should be quite good. And I get to hear them practice a lot. Or at least some of them practice.
You could probably hum some of the songs.
Yeah.
So that's the 24th, right?
There's the 24th and there's also on March 12th. There is the Pops concert, and that one is, I think, the middle school and high school. The 24th is the middle school, but the Pops concert is everybody. And it's a good night out. So
Great, thanks for that. Anybody else that has something to stress on the calendar stuff?
I just want to let you know, I cannot be there tomorrow night. I'm responsible for like 25 hockey players tomorrow night for something else that I'm committed to, but I will be there in spirit cheering you on.
You might rather be here than there.
They're entertaining, that's for sure.
I bet they are. Thanks, Carrie. Okay, we're on to the curriculum report. Where's yours, Darryl?
So as Patrick pulls this up, just to briefly review the diagnostic data. As you know, the diagnostic assessments we provide 3 times a year, once in the fall, get a baseline of the student performance. Again, in the winter, where we take the data, we review it. We're in the process of that now, adjusting anything we might need to adjust. And then we'll give the final assessments in the spring. Okay. So right now, at the mid-year, we're really taking a look at all of the data we collect. So we have our iReady, we have DIBELS, which is a literacy assessment. We also have Acadians, which is a math assessment. We're reviewing all of that data and looking for trends, whether it's, specific groups making more progress than others. And then basically working at each of the schools that are elementary, middle, and high school. High school is a little bit later just because they are utilizing the SATs as one of their key pieces of information. But the systems are all the same, where we're taking a look at some of the strengths that the students are displaying, some of the areas where we would like to see greater growth, and then putting those strategies into practice. So a couple of key takeaways at Broadbrook, we would definitely expect to see the growth that we're seeing. So both in math and the reading, we see good growth. One of the things that I typically look at, so if we're looking at the 37 or 38% in the winter, and then 50% in the winter for the ELA, what I'm always looking for is how is that previous years? So are we growing year over year? So either we're at or a couple of points above where we were the previous year. And that's something that we are always looking to consistently grow in. The other piece is our bottom students. So those students who are receiving tier 2 or tier 3 interventions, are we decreasing the amount of students who are 2 to 3 grade levels below? And certainly we're seeing that as well. So a couple of key takeaways, but the data is definitely good at this point in the year. Middle school, similar growth. And again, one of the things that I'm looking for consistently is, are we making more growth than we did the previous years? And that's something we want to see. And then the number of students reaching the mid or above grade level benchmarks are a notable increase. So rising from 45 to 82 students in ELA and from 15 to 39 students in math, that's good for this point halfway through the year, that those students are above benchmark, above grade level. Go ahead.
Darryl, just as a reminder too, they're being measured at end of the year standards.
Yep. So next steps, and actually the people who were here for tonight's curriculum meeting, you could speak to the MTSS process, because that is what we are currently involved in. So over the last couple of weeks, we're looking at our assessment data, and we're looking at trends. So like I'll tell you, our top kids are growing, our bottom kids are growing. The students who we need to push are the kids who may not be seeing the tier 2 or tier 3 data. And I can't impress enough, through the MTSS process, we are able to drill down in a matter of a couple of weeks the amount of data and the amount of subgroups that we're able to focus in on. We were never able to do that. We were looking at broad trends, where now we're able to focus on specific groups. And that's something that's really been refined over the last couple of years through that MTSS process. But then again, we've got the tools, and that goes back to the board and the support that you've shown, because, you know, iReady, iExcel, the professional development that we're providing for our teachers is really allowing them to benefit. And obviously that just helps our students get to where they're going right now. So questions for me? I know like those charts later on, they just kind of go into a little bit greater depth. But I mean, this is a kind of an individual breakdown for both the middle school ELA and math, and then Broadbrook ELA and math.
Any questions?
No, I just want to thank Daryl and staff too, and Tim for being at the curriculum meeting. It was a really good, a little bit more explanation of the, MTSS and the systems and what they're doing. And I'm impressed by the fact that, again, you're looking at data and you can look at trends. So it's forward looking. It's always forward looking in terms of, and I'm thankful for this as we begin to plan us for our goals as well, as a board. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Question. The slide on the Broadbrook where it said the like 2 or more grade level reduction from 77 to 22 students. That's really impressive. Is that the whole school or is that any particular grade?
So repeat that first part.
So it was the 71% reduction in students in that category of 2 or more grade
Okay.
levels
Yep.
standard. It went from 77 to 22 students. So is that for the whole school or is that for a specific grade?
No, that's the whole school.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So the
20
whole,
students in the whole school across grades.
yes.
Are 2 or more grade levels below.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Because it's based on that initial diagnostic that we give in the fall.
Okay.
And remember, like to Patrick's question, and those are end of year grade level standards that we're assessing them on in the fall. They should be behind. So it's the growth per. So, I mean, if they're at 50% now, like that's where you'd want to see them. And that's that trend line that we want to see. So that's the piece where it should be increasing every year. I mean, a good example of that, and it's not listed here, but the iReady data, I was at the middle school MTSS meeting this week, and it showed our students at the middle school for phonics instruction were 97% proficient. So that has not happened up to this point. But then you think about the foundations and the Haggerty we've provided at the elementary school, and that's about 3 years. So now we've got that data moving up to the middle school. So that's a direct relation to the work we've put in there. That's now moving up. So those are the things that kind of we see. So it's nice to be able to share that with people at the elementary school, which I was able to do today. So yeah.
I ask the students who are 2 or more grade levels below, does that include students who are more challenged?
Yes.
So, okay, so they don't have a different standard?
Yeah, no, and that, I think that's where we've shifted kind of philosophies
Okay.
Over the last several years. Is it doesn't matter if you're in grade 5 and whether you're in special ed or you have a 504, or you have particular, at the end of the year, the state is going to assess you at grade 5 standards. So if we don't give you the chance to prove yourself or to practice on grade level standards, you're never going to get there.
Yeah.
So that's,
Thank you.
Yep.
There's comment.
I'll send Daryl an email. I always like to see the grade level.
Oh, yeah, I'll get those for you. Yeah, I'll get them for you.
I just want to make one observation, and that is that when I first started, and it was right after COVID, but it was a very different picture. And back then, Daryl and Patrick said to us, trust us. We have a plan. We have a path. It's going to go through bumps, and we don't want to veer from that path, even if it looks like we're not stumbling. And we put our faith in the both of you to come through with that whole plan. And I am just sincerely so thankful that we did. Thank you so much, both of you, for instilling in everybody confidence that we are going in the right direction. And it's because of the paths that you created.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. We're on to the superintendent's report.
Yes, this won't take that long. So I have one reminder and, one update. So first, the Read Across America, this is a reminder, Broadbrook is hosting their annual Read Across America Day on Tuesday, March 3rd. They are looking for volunteers to come to read to students during lunch. So if anyone is available, you can connect with, Jessica available times. I do have them here as well too, but, the earliest they start is 10:50 and the last one runs from 1:10 to 1:40. And there's 3 other time slots in between.
You did this last year, right, Betsy? No.
I don't know, but I did connect with Jessica, so let me know. So did they tell you what grade level later on? Assigning?
Do you, it's,
I'm totally open. Yeah,
whatever they need. Okay,
whatever they
I
need.
will let them know.
I'm most scared of kindergarten, but.
I
get my email. They just wanna do it.
Thank you. And then just one update, we are going through a, state, Department of, Education Food Service audit. It is part of the normal cycle of review. I will say, a food service audit is a little different than like a budget audit. It is expected that there will be findings. Ryan and I went, through it ourselves a couple of years ago, in the absence of a food service director. There is always an expectation there will be some type of corrective action plan, to a certain degree. So once, that audit is complete, as we did, I think 2 or 3 years ago, we'll provide a copy of the report. I will say so far in that audit process on the positive, our meal programs in regards to delivering breakfast and lunch to students are going well. We did receive notice as far as that our food production records do need improvement. So we're expecting a likely finding in that area. And it appears that was a result of a transition between food service directors due to a paternity leave of absence. I will say Whitson's is responding well, and you will see some follow-up steps as far as probably the next few months to maybe even longer. So for example, you'll see a Board of Ed policy on the next Board of Ed agenda. So they went to BPR. I think it was adding a total of like 3 words to our policy. But it's one of the recommendations. So we'll be bringing it forward for board approval. So there will be things of that nature coming in line. And again, it's part of the normal cycle, like when they do a certain amount of districts each year. So more to come, but just wanted to kind of bring
Look at Patrick. What do they really look at?
Ryan probably
Not a big thing, but it
Yeah,
sounds like.
I mean, really kind of like everything. I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
they'll come and watch and make sure that you're doing your student counts right
Oh.
as far as,
They're really picky about.
Oh, yeah, they'll go on site, they read the counts, they watch it go through, they
Yeah.
make sure everyone's being.
Yeah.
okay, your food menu, are you, providing the same options there, or does it match your, food menu go out? Food production, that's where, it provides the recipes, that you use for every meal that you serve, along with the amounts of food, and making sure that they're in line with like USD standards. So there's quite a bit.
Does it? Is it
The state.
Department of Education or Ag or?
Yeah, it's the CSD, it's the food division of the CSD, yeah.
Charlene Russell was she was in that division.
Especially in that one, yeah, now
As
it's.
commissioner, so.
I'll tell you, it's the one department where you call and someone always picks up the phone. Yeah, it is.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
I just, it's a kind of like a wondering thing, like, I mean, like every other department,
Yes, that's right.
and you can always get someone. But that's really it.
Okay. Well, this is going pretty quickly, which is kind of good because we have a pretty heavy executive session. So. Thank you, Patrick.
You're welcome.
We're on to new business. So we have the school calendar for approval.
Yeah, I can give just some key dates too. So it's on page 10 of your packet. And this proposed calendar, the first day of school would be Thursday, August 27th. Preschool would start 1 week later, which is consistent with past years, allowing more time to transition our youngest students into the school. April break is the second full week in the month, which is consistent with most surrounding school districts. And then the last day of school, obviously pending no snow days, would be Thursday, June 10th. And that day would be the high school graduation date, regardless of snow days.
Well, that was my only question was the April vacation.
I know that came up, I believe my first year as superintendent, maybe.
Yep, it was. I remember who it was and everything.
Easter's in March that year too, which is weird.
Early.
In January, those shortened days for the high school only, is that?
Midterms.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Any other questions?
No, and it's.
I know. Just an observation. I'm glad to see that Christmas break, that they're coming to school for those first 2 days. This Christmas break,
Was very long.
the one that we just experienced was.
A lot. A lot.
It was a lot. I mean, we had 2 solid weeks. They were all 2 solid weeks. And I think not only for parents, but for the kids, that's a long time to be out of school. So I'm glad to see we're coming to school on Monday and Tuesday.
I laughed because I received so much feedback that was the opposite as far as families. So you're the only second person, you're the only second person who said they did, and actually, staff attendance was outstanding for December, and the thought process wasn't because of
Oh, really?
the extended break.
Everyone was asking, when am I going back?
You know what's funny about that, too, Noreen? Like my kids all had school it's a half day before Christmas break this year. And I asked them specifically, what did you guys do? Nothing.
Nothing.
So I'm like,
Although they're with their friends, so it's a little, it just got.
I get it too, they're not home.
I was gonna say, nothing that's.
it sounds like you were locked.
Yeah.
I was home a lot. I actually got, I shouldn't say this, but I got desperate to do something. So we all went to Great Wolf Lodge, which that was an experience. I'll tell you, that's fun. With all 4,000 other children. But I think, I guess it depends on who you are and how it fits into your schedule. And parents coming up with that amount of block of time to be able to take off if you're work a single parent who gets 2 weeks vacation, it's kind of like, okay, what do you do? So I'm glad to see Monday and Tuesday are school days.
So you approve of the calendar then?
I'll make a motion. Do we need a motion?
Yes.
And I'll second that motion.
So motion is made by Noreen and seconded by Betsy to approve the calendar. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. Next is approval of Board of Ed transfer. Do we call it something that? Oh, the transfers.
No, so, yeah, so this is a follow-up from our last, Board of Ed, meeting. So the voting of allowing transferring of funds to the town capital improvement projects line would be a necessary step, for us to proceed with purchasing our own vehicles, for our special education transition program. The cost would be offsetting from the costs associated with special ed transportation. I will say Ryan will need to work with the finance subcommittee meeting to make the adjustments in both FY 26 and FY 27 budgets, as the cost, goes across fiscal years. This will result in a small cost savings. Would you say that's fair, Ryan, for next school year, and more significant cost savings in the following years?
Following ones, yeah. Yep.
Has it been determined whether we're purchasing or leasing?
So it'd be purchasing. So it'd be a 5-year term, for, I think we're talking up to 3 vehicles. That's why we did the up to amount, because they're still finalizing that. They're determining if it goes into escrow or not. I've been working with Amy at the town a little bit, just to get her input on the best way to do it. But it basically would come out to, I think it was 74,000 a year or so, and we were talking about 100,000 for special ed, so it would add up.
And that's for how many?
Two, three.
Up to 3. So Diane's, we included a possibility with Diane's because since then Diane's transmission has gone, something else went.
Went today too.
That is on its last leg. But the costs could still be offsetting in that because it costs a lot to contract out as we review.
So even for 3, we would still be okay?
Correct.
But you'd come back to us if you're doing 3. We talked about.
Correct. Yeah, this is giving,
Yeah.
but we wanted the vote to provide flexibility so that Ryan can at least set up the line as a necessary step.
So the way it's gonna work, which is what we need to probably, why we need to vote. Amy will add into the capital and non-recurring a line that is specifically for our vehicles.
Right.
We will fund that line.
Yep.
And then, we'll fund. We will put the money into it and Amy will take care of doing the paying part of it, right? Because we can't have our own assets. It's gotta be your town.
Correct. So it'd be kind of like we do with the other capital ones, where I basically give the invoice, the payment, or the backup to Amy, and then she issues the check out of the town capital fund.
And Amy indicated the vote was necessary for her to set up the.
Correct.
So we're making a motion to approve
300.
establishment of the CIP line. Is that what
Do we have to do an exact amount too?
With the verbiage
And the bird up to that amount.
Yes.
I made a motion to approve a transfer of Board of Ed funds to the town of East Windsor Capital Improvement Projects account line to fund district-owned vehicles up to $375.
75,000?
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, the Matchbox cars.
That's what So the motion is made. Is there a second?
Second.
And discussion. In discussion, we're not approving a transfer right now. The ability to transfer.
The ability to.
Ability to
Yeah,
transfer.
but then once we finalize everything, then I would assume we bring it to the finance sub and kind of proceed that way. This is just to get Amy to be able to set that up and move forward in the process.
So we probably need to amend the motion just to include the ability to transfer, because if we say transfer,
Well, this is just the account line though, right?
well, it says to transfer funds to that line.
Because we're funding over 2 years, right?
5.
5 years. But it will continue, but right now it's now and then next year. So you'll be working with Amy on how that.
I would work
works.
with Amy. There would be an upfront cost in the current year.
Yeah.
That we would have to put up front, and then
Yeah.
it would kind of continue each
Okay.
year to pay
Yeah.
towards it.
Yeah, okay. So we have to encumber that. Us,
No,
on our end, to
no.
pay for, no?
So at each year of the budget, we will be determining the amount that would be in the special maybe I should
And that, okay,
let you, but it wouldn't be encumbered. We would move it to the
okay, capital, okay.
capital account.
If it's hypothetically, if it's 75,000, we'd be sitting in the special ed line and then we would transfer that
Okay.
to the capital line, through the town, to fund that.
I would suggest we change this to say a motion to establish
Yeah.
a Board of Ed capital improvement line, something along that line. Because this way, if we put this in here with this money, we've just made a motion to move $375,000 over to an account. And we're not ready to do that yet. We don't know what the
Exactly.
numbers are.
I will rescind my motion.
And
Rescind my second.
Maybe
You
we
got that,
do,
just,
You have better words for it than I.
make a motion to approve the establishment of a Board of Education capital improvement project line for future funding if necessary.
of, district-owned vehicles, right?
I wouldn't go there. I would just, if we could have other capital that we might want to do something with, so if we don't name it. If we decide we want to go buy, I don't know, extra computers or something, and we're gonna fund them.
It's
I
there.
don't, any asset that we would end up that we would end up wanting to buy. If we don't name it, then Amy can just use that one line for anything we're funding ourselves.
I think capital projects need to be specific.
Maybe,
Think about the capital.
well, I mean, we could call it for vehicles,
Yeah, because we could.
and then we could always
establish another
change it, or we could establish another one.
Okay.
Probably better to keep them separate so
Yeah.
they're separated.
one. Okay, so what's your motion?
Well, this still just has it exactly right.
Approve the establishment of the establishment of a Board of Ed fund in the town of East Windsor capital improvement projects for funding a district-owned vehicle. Did you get that?
Because you're funding more than one.
District-owned vehicles.
Vehicles, okay.
Right.
Funding.
We need to have the up to 375,000,
I
correct?
don't think right now.
Okay.
Do you?
I don't think so.
Not to,
I think
I guess my only concern would be, I think the point was so that we could move forward at least, because there's the 3 to 4 month lead time on the quotes. I think that's why we have the dollar amount, but my only concern is if we do that, then does that prevent me from signing anything as far as the getting this going?
Obligating us to funding.
Yeah,
So you need a number and an obligation of a number.
I think that was the intent, not to jump in, but
When do you intend to move the money?
They would have to do it soon.
it would be because they would have to get them going to have them delivered by May. And then my understanding was it would be out of the current fiscal year, it would be about 74,000 out of the current fiscal year to essentially lock us in. And then we would look into, in the future years, so there would be a dollar amount as well. But I can't sign anything until we have kind of the go ahead.
So to approve up to 75,000 to be transferred to that account.
But we don't.
Because the 375 is over 5 years, so it's not as if I'd be doing 375 in like one shot right now. It's 74 and change per year over 5 years is what they came up with.
The total for all three vehicles will be roughly 375.
It would be
370 something. We went a little higher just to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we know it's up to, so so it was just over 370.
yeah.
So why don't we approve the transfer when, we're gonna meet in 2 weeks. We're gonna meet next week. No, not next week.
No, we don't have a regular, we'll have a finance subcommittee meeting. But
Right.
we won't have another board meeting till March.
Oh, because we can't.
I would,
So we really need the vote today.
I'm not overly comfortable with putting in 5 years worth of money
Yeah,
or establishing it for 5 years worth of money. We could find out in June that, whoops, that didn't happen and now it's $400,000, which I'm not saying 400 is not a bad thing. Can we make it an amount that we now currently know we have in our current budget that you have the availability to get over to Amy? Like if we do this to 80,000,
Like in the current,
right, because
like
it's just.
what's coming out of our,
Well, I guess if I'm Amy, why would I allow that? Because we haven't said we're going to allocate enough to cover the cost over the 5 years.
I don't think it matters to Amy. Amy just opens.
We just
up
can, we
the
can
line.
continue to add the money that
that,
we need.
that was kind of my understanding when I did kind of briefly speak to Amy. I sent some more questions. I know she's busy, so I haven't got a follow up yet, but my understanding was you capitalize the full amount and then we were able to fund it each year. So say it's 75,000 a year, we would be funding it each year.
I mean, can you amend the motion to with the total with no more than the amount set for?
Over
Each year?
5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a maximum amount you could draw down.
Make
So-
it,
Over the next 5
Okay.
years.
um, um, I need to stop thinking about her side. Because in capital and non-recurring, they're not carrying any amount of money that's not actually in existence. You know, it doesn't, they're not taking, but that's a different thought. We can talk about that separately.
Okay.
You know, they're not taking, right now at capital and CIP has $50,000 for a fire truck over the next 7 years. The only amount that's showing up in capital and non-recurring lines, which is where she'll establish this, is money that's literally been here, that's been approved for it. So if they've been given 2 years, there's $100,000 in there. The next year, they don't put the extra money in until the budget gets approved and CIP approves, blah, blah, blah. So
I think I'm trying to understand what you're saying too, Noreen. What you're saying is that the 375,000 is really money that we're anticipating
Right.
getting every year,
No.
right?
No.
No, that will be in our budget because of transportation.
A total amount of 375.
But we don't have $375,000 at this point in our budget. That's the bottom line. That's what your question.
that's what, yeah, like.
Yeah.
We could probably do it this way, do it the way it was, but put the 375,000 over 5 years or something. I don't know.
As needed over 5 years or?
Why don't we have a separate motion authorizing Ryan to enter into an agreement for the buses for up to 375 and leave it in that end and not in the CIP end.
But he has to have that to open it up, right?
Right.
Would that work if you had the two motions?
If you had authorization from us.
yeah, because then
Yeah.
that's all they're waiting for in the financing side is me to sign that and say, yes, we'll basically sign up for this 375,000 over 5 years for the vehicles. They place the order. And then that's when I work with Amy to establish, how that's getting paid. So we would pay 74,182 this fiscal year, which is basically using like our anticipated end of year money. That gets it going. And then next year we would have to transfer 75,000 out of our local budget to Amy. Then the next year we would transfer 75,000 out. So we would still budget for it each year. We would just have to do a transfer at some point during the year to fund it out of capital. If that makes sense.
I would say make the motion to approve Ryan.
Yeah.
To enter into an agreement for the purchase of. Do you need to know the amount of vehicles or you just need a number?
Up to 3.
up to three. I mean, that was my assumption, where it was up to three. So,
Are we, the 375 is for 3 vehicles?
yes,
And
roughly 24 and some change per.
so if we get the 3 vehicles for $375,000, that fits into the conversations that we've already had about saving money. Because our last conversation, I thought we were talking about 2 vehicles.
I did too. How come we're
So-
talking about 3 now?
Oh, we talked about Diane's and since then the transmission has gone and there's more that it's not going to make it.
Okay, so it's
It's chugging along,
Okay.
but like, I mean, we are, like, it's going to get through this.
that's the third, the chugging along.
We were gonna limp along with the van for a while and now we can't limp.
Yeah, I mean, just to be, I mean, Frank, I mean, like the transmission's like $5,000 to replace. So, I mean,
It's the vehicle.
financing this, the vehicle's 25 versus paying another 5 for a transmission and other parts.
So for Jess,
Mhm.
can we first finish the motion, the
Yeah, I
original
just
motion
want to make,
to establish CIP? The CIP line? And then.
well, we could go with what we originally went with, without any money, and then Ryan can deal with Amy on how that line gets established.
Right.
And how she's gonna carry the money into it. That's
That's her thing.
which that gives her to be able to set up the line, because she's gotta go to the Board of Finance and have them approve opening the line. She can't open a line without their approval. So if we stick with that one,
Well-
that says open a capital improvement line,
Let's make sure that Jess has it, what you're thinking it is.
No.
Are you okay with?
Okay, so we're going with the first motion?
No, the last.
Okay.
Just
the
approving. it.
establishment one.
Approve R. Galloway to enter into an agreement for the purchase of up.
No.
Yes, for the 3 district-owned vehicles, I don't know.
I had
No,
one
okay.
before that, Jess, it said,
Yeah.
motion to approve the establishment of a board of it
Capital improvement.
Yes, okay.
within the town of East Windsor.
I have that.
Okay.
Okay,
But it was made by Noreen. It wasn't even seconded.
right.
Okay, so let's finish that one first.
It's hard to repeat it just to make
Yeah.
sure. Wait,
That's what I was.
Motion to approve the establishment of a Board of Education fund within the town of East Windsor capital improvement project for funding district-owned vehicles.
There you go.
I have that one.
Okay, that's Noreen made that motion. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Seconded by Courtney.
Okay.
Any additional discussion about it?
Do we want that to say up to 3 vehicles?
Not-
Or no? Do we not care?
No, because what if 3 years from now we decide we want to afford the vehicle? It doesn't have to be in the capital improvement piece of it. That'll be for us to
We
discuss.
just would put more money in.
Right.
Maybe we'll buy the Board of Ed van.
Okay.
It'd be fun.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. Carrie, you got all that? Carrie Bells?
Yeah, pretty much. No, I didn't fall asleep.
Okay, motion's carried.
Now, I make a motion to authorize Ryan Galloway to enter into a purchase agreement for up to 3 vehicles with an amount not to exceed $375,000 over a 5-year purchase plan.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
Seconded by Fran? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Okay,
Thank you.
well, it was a long trip on a bus. Okay, there are new course proposals.
Page 12, starting.
And these would be made in all one motion and be made separately.
They can be all, they can be all one.
I would make a motion to approve new course proposals for the East Windsor High School AP calculus starting in FY 26. East Windsor High School Intro to Business starting in FY 26. East Windsor High School AP seminar starting in FY 26.
and the East Windsor Middle School Unified General Music starting FY 26. Oh, so efficient.
I'll second.
Motion made by Courtney, seconded by Noreen. Any discussion about any of these? These have gone to the curriculum committee and been approved by.
They haven't gone through the curriculum. Yes.
I have a general question. Here, from the original concept of a class through its completions, like getting it all done and getting it to the board and getting it done, what's that time frame look like? Is it a year, 18 months?
For like the proposal.
Yeah,
Yeah, so typically I'll send something out in the fall to the principals. They'll reach out to their teachers. We typically will look to do so after the high school's course selection process and after the guidance department starts meeting with incoming freshmen too. So we get an idea of trends of courses that are being taken. Primarily, these are at the high school. We start getting trends in the fall, submit it by late fall, if you will. There's a lot of back and forth, like what's going to be involved here. Do we have the staff to teach it? What would the course materials look like? And then we'll bring it to curriculum council usually in January.
it's hopefully a start in the fall of the process. Class starts the following fall.
Yeah. Yep.
Any other discussions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? We're on to liaison reports and subcommittee reports. Anybody have anything? Just a reminder, subcommittee, the finance subcommittee is meeting next week, so make sure you have any comments on the budget to Maureen as chair of the committee.
So they're going
Ryan and
to,
Patrick.
wait a minute. What are they going to?
Ryan and Patrick,
Oh, Ryan and Patrick.
On Friday.
On Friday.
Friday.
and they'll condense them for us for Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
I think we talked about it already, but, major updates or notices from the ad hoc meeting? Was it last week?
No, we didn't have one on.
Oh,
We did because there wasn't that one.
Kind of.
Yeah, that's what William was here. William was here as far as.
then we have that community meeting coming up.
The 26th.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
yes.
And we're good with, I think minutes showed the, middle school, or I don't know whether I read that. It's now at the elementary school.
It's at the elementary school.
And then has internet access. That was what I was asking Patrick, and I forgot to kind of connect with you.
Yeah, my understanding is it does.
It'll be all set. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? No public for public participation? Is there anybody online? Anybody here?
Oh, boy.
Miscellaneous. Patrick, you have any miscellaneous? Anybody? Correspondence, we have, the enrollment numbers. Any questions, comments? Second to the last page.
Can I just make one comment on miscellaneous? Just next Friday night, I don't know what the date is. I think it's the 20th. The Tri-Town hockey team has their annual pink out night. So it's against Enfield, so it's usually a rival on the rink, and it's packed, and they raise money for the Smilo Cancer Center. Last year they raised over $2,500, and it doubled the year before's amount. And so it's a good time. They take cash donations in lieu of taking money at the door for entrance. So if anyone's interested, the
Did you say there was the twin rings?
Yeah.
Twin Rinks, yeah, it starts at
What time?
at 7:45. I can double check the time. I have a flyer that I'm gonna have the last year the principal put it out for everybody too, which was nice. But it's a good cause. It's a really fun time. It's usually packed and it raises a lot of money. So
It is a fun night. We went.
Carrie, did you say the 19th?
let me
whatever
just look. I think it's on the 20th. I
The
have-
20th, because Friday the 13th is next week, right?
Yeah. So it's the
This week?
20th.
So it's
and,
the 20th?
yeah, and the puck drops at 7:50 p.m. and it's for a really good cause. And then all the boys go and present like a big, huge check over in Enfield to the cancer center over there. So it's really nice.
Thanks, Carrie.
Yeah.
Okay, so, the enrollment, no questions?
I have a sort of question that has to do with enrollment, but, so, yeah, how do you think? I realize, I noticed that there is a proposal for another development in town across the street from Wells Road. Wells, you got 140 and Mullen and that big field and there for 130, and that one has, I think it was at least 130 units. Well, they had not housing, not but individual houses, but they were apartments and condos. And townhouse type things. So I'm just wondering if, I guess, I don't know.
They projected growth in our enrollment studies that they did. Yeah, not fun. But also, Canyon Ridge, which is a huge apartment complex, has, do we have any students from Canyon Ridge?
I'm not sure if they're the same vein.
You know what? I looked into that, that came up at some point and, I remember it was about 5 at the time.
That's funny, 'cause
And that was around when we were doing the demographic enrollment, study. I don't know if that number has changed, but it was about a handful at that time.
So you're right.
But I just,
Depending on the kind of.
yeah, keep it on the radar and see. I mean, I know that was one of the things that I liked about the way we had the buildings structured was that they were add-onable, but like, you don't want to go adding on to something that you just built.
Yeah, we don't want to make the same mistake other
No,
neighbors did.
no.
And the people who came in who are building the apartment complexes down across from Geisler.
Yes.
I know there was a conversation at some point during some meeting about, student population. And they said that they expected minimal student increase because of the way they're more apartments geared towards
Younger.
either
Young
professional working,
Yeah.
young professionals who generally when they have their children, they move somewhere else. And I think they said something about they've done these before and they've never seen a impact on
Yeah.
the school district.
But I'm just
You
saying-
never know.
Yeah, I mean, this other one, I don't know what the structure is, you know,
If
just,
it's 3-bedroom apartment, that makes a little different
Yeah.
thing than a 55 plus.
yeah. Yeah. Just something to keep our eye
Well,
on.
thank you for that.
I looked at that map and was like, where are they gonna float to?
Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the final thing is we have a housing, a CROG email regarding a housing suitability analysis of the middle school. It was a grant. We received approval of the grant. Well, the towns received approval of the grant. And it will, be one aspect of answering a question about what are we gonna do with the middle school if we vacate it. It goes to the town, it's a town building, but we still need to at least be able to say something. This is one step toward that, and there are certainly other possibilities for the building besides whatever this would bring up. So.
It is, but I suppose this to me also touches back to if this piece of property comes through as being suitable for lots of housing. It's in the neighborhood of neighborhoods.
Ask the neighbor.
Well, she as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't know that, you know, if we're adding, it'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? If we did build houses on this and as a result, we had to do something to our buildings. But I mean, it's just, again, something to keep in the back of our heads as conversations roll on that we know about these things because somebody's going to ask.
Yeah. Well, and it could be that they find it suitable for elderly housing. A lot of schools are converted to elderly housing. They take the classrooms and turn them into little apartments. So that could come out of this CROG study as well.
Yep.
So, it doesn't necessarily mean that it would be turned into an apartment complex. It could be a cul-de-sac with $500,000 houses.
So,
Who
so
knows?
I have a question.
Right.
Does this have specificity about, you know, a lot of housing now, we're talking about, you know, affordable housing. So that it's open and pieces that are affordable and then otherwise. Does CROG make those recommendations?
I would think they would be more geared toward
Yeah,
affordable,
yeah,
but we'll have to see.
yeah.
We'll know more. This was just awarding the grant to everybody. CROG takes a long time
Yeah,
after
yeah.
that if they did 15 of them, it could be.
So we have the grant and then it would be, if we wanted to, whether it's there or someplace else, that money is available to do some kind of housing.
Just for that specific site.
Oh, it's that, okay. Okay.
Okay, if there's no other questions regarding any of that, we need a motion to go into executive session.
I would make them, well, can I just say something? Thank you, for our handbook. Jessica, did you put this together?
No, I guess not.
And others, right? It's neat and tidy and it looks good. Thank you. And I would make a motion to go into executive session.
Settlement.
Second.
This is- So
You have to
motion
approve
go
it.
into executive session was made by Betsy, seconded by Courtney.
Lots of cookies, Cheryl.
To include the superintendent and to include Ryan, if you don't mind.